Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the Audio Levels channel and welcome back to another review. And today we are taking a look at this, the IFi GO BLU, which is one of the best pieces of equipment that I have reviewed all year. I am in love with this little thing. I cannot stop using it. Before we get into that review, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe. We have tons of stuff. We have, just to grab a few things, Shanling M6 Pro review, TRN BT30, CCA, CA24s, VX Pros, we have the new FIO FD7, we have the Aon X5S, etc, etc, etc. There's going to be a review every day for the next 2 weeks. Right now I have so much stuff to cover and there's so many good pieces of equipment. The other reason to subscribe to the channel is of course that we're giving away the AdSense revenue this month and next month. So October and November we're giving away the AdSense revenue in the form of a Linsol voucher, so you can go get yourself some headphones if you're subscribed to the channel. You don't need to do anything else, just be subscribed. And finally, the main reason for this channel is comparisons. If you're subscribed to the channel, you want to see comparisons between A and B, B and C, C and D. Yeah, all you have to do is, if you're a subscriber, leave your question down below. Also, if you're looking to purchase stuff, if you're subscribed, leave a question down below and say, I'm looking to spend this much money. I want something that's basic. Describe me your budget, the genres of music you listen to, and I'll give you a recommendation based on what I do. But that's enough of this intro. Let's get into the main point of this video, which is the IFi GO BLU. You can tell I'm sort of excited about this one. And it's just so convenient. It's just so damn convenient. What this is a Bluetooth amplifier, or mobile Bluetooth headphone amp, as they say on the front there. And it's got lots of high-end codecs. The only one missing from it, I was saying, was MQA. Other than that, it's got lots of high-end codecs. It's got balanced output. It's got a volume knob. And it allows you to go hands-free with your device. Like if you're using your phone, using a DAC, you can go hands-free, just put that in a shirt pocket or in your pocket, something like that. And you don't need to be tethered basically to your phone. It gives that extra bump. It definitely sounds better than out the most phones stock headphone jacks, whichever headphones are with the little adapters like I'm using on my iPhone. It's just a really, really well thought out, well implemented little DAP. So anyway, this is the box, this is the outer sleeve you get, and it basically shows you the front and the side. It tells you a little bit about the technology inside, which we're going to talk about, this X space and X DAC. You can see it has support for LDAC, HWA, AAC, aptX, aptX adaptive, aptX HD, and low battery. So all the latest Bluetooth codecs and stuff going on in there. This is the internal box. Now this has been out, so it's not in the full packaging, but a lot of people have been asking me to do this again and repackage it and show the unboxing. I'm hesitant to do unboxing videos on their own because I think they're a little bit boring. On the inside there, QR code for whatever that is, never check those out. The little amp comes inside a bag, we'll take that out. You can see how tiny this is. And then the accessories you don't get much. You just get a little pouch and a charging cable. So you can see there's just a little pouch. I will say they've absolutely missed a step here by not putting a clip or some sort of clip case on this. I think that was really, really stupid of them. IFi, if you're watching, I don't know what you were thinking there. This is something that somebody's probably going to want to clip to a pocket, clip to a shirt, clip somewhere around their body, or have that option at least. Including a pouch for something with a volume wheel is a stupid, lazy choice. If I put that in there, how am I going to adjust the volume? That's not well thought out at all. That's an afterthought. That's them kind of saying like, oh, we need to include some form of cover or pouch or case. It's fine for carrying it about when it's not in use, but in use, you want a case or you want a clip attached to it. There are ways around it that I use 3M dual lock, and I make a little clip on the back of it, which I've not been wanting to do because I've got to do this review and I don't want to have 3M dual lock covering it. Anyway, you get a USB-C cable, which is very welcome because that fits in with the rest of the cables that I have. Now let's get into the very basic layout of this. They have a soft touch around the back and sides there, and in the front they have this brushed metal with the IFi logo on it. It feels very nice. It doesn't feel cheap in any way. It doesn't feel super premium, but it feels very nice, very well made. On this side you have the power button. On this side you have the button that toggles the X bass and X space, and it also handles the pairing. When you hold this in, it'll handle the pairing. You have the play pause functions on this, as well as the little volume pot, which does click, if you can hear. So it does actually have hard stops there. It's not going to stop it rolling in your pocket, but it does have a resistance there. It's not a free spinning volume pot on this one. Up top you have the 4.4mm balanced and regular 3.5mm headphone jack with the little status indicator light on the top, another charging indicator light on the bottom, as well as a reset button and the microphone in, so you can use this to take calls, although it's something that you probably won't do, especially because there's no clip on it. So you're going to have this in your pocket, so it's not going to be useful. If I had a clip and I had it on my shirt, yeah, I could use this for calls, no problem. Down the bottom, exposed USB-C. Now, despite my gripes about not having the clip and sort of losing some of that functionality, this thing is powerful enough and it just sounds fantastic. It's got a smooth sound signature. It's smooth but neutralish. There's no emphasis on the bass or treble once you're listening to it in the stock configuration. It pairs wonderfully well. I've been using it actually with the Kinera the Kinera Balder 2. These are the Balder 2. These are $1,400-ish or something like that. And I'm using it mainly with the Dithon Ray because the Dithon Ray has this lushness that counteracts the aggressiveness of these earphones. This works similarly when you use the X bass and the X space. The X bass and the X space remind me of something called the Digizoid Zo. I don't know if anybody's still around from back in those days. You're talking, I don't know, at least 10, maybe 12 years or so. There was a company called Digizoid, came out with this little amplifier sound adjuster that made this crazy difference to earphones. I've never heard anything like it. I've never heard anything like it since. This is as close as it gets when you turn that X bass on. The X bass just opens up the soundstage, makes the whole presentation a little bit more grand, a little bit more fun, engaging to listen to. And then the X bass just adds that lower end thump. So it gives you this sort of versatility, especially if you're using neutral earphones. Earphones with neutral tuning. I was using these with my Etymotic ER4 XR, so I have the XR and the SR, but the SR definitely benefits from it, but the SR is something, it's the studio frequency response Etymotics, and it's very, very flat for monitoring. That is an earphone I just use for monitoring. I wouldn't use that in particular for musical enjoyment, but I do use the XR. I think the XR is a fantastic earphone. And this with the XR just opens up the sound space and then gives even more like punch. The XR, even though it's an extended response, or XB, like the bass response is longer on it, it's not an aggressive bass earphone. This adds even more punch, even more depth to it, even being just a balanced armature. With this and this, absolutely fantastic. Turn the X bass on with the Campfire Audio Mammoth and you have a ridiculous sounding set of bass earphones. It's way, way, way too much. But if you use it with something like this, the Audio Excalibur, it's absolutely banging. there was very few earphones that I tested this with that it didn't pair well. The ones that didn't pair well were only when using the X bass, and that was on already bassy stuff like the Manfred Zens Up. The Manfred Zens Up do not need a hit of extra bass, so there was no reason to turn on the turn on the X bass on this. The other thing is the convenience factor of this. This is very small, and I've used other things. Is it the FiO UP5? I've used other, this is Bluetooth as well, and I'm really coming around to using one of these devices, because there's something about not being tethered to your phone, tethered to your device, not having to carry a second device like a full-size iBasso DX300 with me. This I just kind of use about the house. I kind of use it in the office. I kind of take it with me if it's in a bag. But I'm not leaving the house with this, my phone, just in my pockets. I drive motorbikes, so I've got keys, I've got identification papers, I've got all that stuff, and it's just too much. If I throw this in the pocket, hook up my headphones, and then I can just pull my phone out whenever I want. I'm not having to carry a heavy second device, or having to pull out something that's tethered to a cable, and it's very refreshing to listen to your music in that way. And it's not something that I thought I would personally be into. The first time I saw devices like these a few years ago, I was like, oh, I don't really see the point. I don't really care. I think it was the BT100 or something. I just couldn't see the purpose for it, and then I started using the Dithon Ray like that, and even about the desk and stuff like that. It's just nice to not be tethered into your earphones, but still have the full advantage of using good quality wired headphones. Especially, I've been listening. This is a stunning pairing. This is the Kinera Skuld. I know I'm talking a lot about the Kineras, but yeah, the Kinera Skuld, and I'm using it with the Nice Hack cable, which I love this cable. Absolutely beautiful combo. And I've been using that, just 4.4 straight in, balanced connector. It's perfect. There's very little that I can complain about on this one, other than they should have included a clip or a case that allows you to use the volume pot. I would like to see them come out with a cheap sort of sub $10 one to make up for that mistake, so that people can go and purchase this. This is $200-ish, so it's going to be, I think it's $200 retail. You might get it a little bit less, a little bit more, depending where you are. I'm leaving the links to where you can buy this in the description below. I think it's expensive for the money, for what it is. It's expensive because there are ones about half the price, but in terms of performance, polish, finish, refinement, and then it's just worth it for that X bass and X space sound alteration. So I'm sold on this. I really like this. Highly recommend it, and it's sort of changing the way that I'm listening to music while I'm out on the go. So that's it for another review. Next one, I guess what I'm going to do is, let's do a cheap earphone for the next one. I've been listening to it. The CCA CA24 is one of the more expensive CCA earphones, so tune in tomorrow for that one. And see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.